Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Peoria and Notre Dame High School in Peoria, Illinois, as TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is here for senior night for the Irish as they host the Knights of Peoria Richwoods. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Cassie's on the camera tonight. Thanks for joining us. We've had some issues with our internet, but we've got a good signal now, and we're here for the varsity match. If you were looking for the JV and freshman matches, we will have those in their entirety loaded a little bit later, probably tomorrow morning. They may get up there tonight. And we'll have a rebooted version of the varsity contest loaded as well, and that will have the complete senior night activities on the front of the varsity game, rather on the back of the JV contest. So if you want to see those right this instant, you can go to the JV contest, speed your way through, and take a look at those. Freshman contest won by the Notre Dame Irish, 25-5, 25-19. Kaylin Krulak had 7 service points, including 3 aces. Catherine Tomlins had 7 service points and 4 aces for the Irish in that one. The fresh soft contest, or JV is normally called, 25-21, 25-17, an Irish win as well. So the first 2 contests go to the Irish. We'll take a quick break and be back for the starting lineups right after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
And welcome back to Peoria Notre Dame High School. As we said, we'll have the starting lineups now. If I can get Cassie to turn her microphone out. I'll turn yours up in just a second so they can hear the starting lineups, if that works for you. I think they'll do starting lineups. Here we are. We'll let you hear them. So that's the starting lineups. We'll tell them to you again in case you didn't catch. Ellie Urich, an outside hitter for Richwoods. Maddie Franklin, a setter. Ella Merritt Ahanda, a middle and right side hitter. She wears number 7. Number 8, London Somerville, a middle. Number 11, Jay Harris, a middle, a senior. And Addison Morrissey, an outside hitter, number 13. Number 18, Zoe Louderman, is the libero. For the Peoria Notre Dame Irish, Aiden Maloney. The libero is Addison Bellamy, number 2. Emma Schomburg, number 5. Number 9, Kate Cassidy, who's playing, is going to serve, and that's it. She'll serve first. Millie Janetton, number 11. Number 12, Sophia Wolbeck. And number 16, Maddie Gibson. And so for the first time since the first match of the season of her senior year, Kate Cassidy is going to get a chance to serve here to start things off for zoom in tight on the server. Kate Cassidy is getting ready to serve for the first time tonight. Since the opening match of the season when she tore her ACL, she'll have surgery next week, so they're going to give her the chance to start the game off with the serve. And there it is underway, and it's an ace for Kate Cassidy. She'll get to serve a second time. 1-0's the score here as Cassidy starts things off with an ace for the Irish. Louderman's there this time. Set's going to come near side to number 8, London Somerville. She'll get the kill. Cassidy stayed behind the line, couldn't play any defense. Cassidy's going to leave to a standing ovation and a hug. And coming into the game is going to be number 15, Riley Bear. Back to serve. It's like number 6, I believe, Maddie Franklin. And we're underway. And a service error sends it back into the net. And a side out to the Irish. Checking in for the Irish is going to be number 3, Lily Dries. Lily Dries serving up now. Somerville got the kill for the Knights to get the side out, but it's 2-1 Irish. Dries back to serve. The jump serve is across. Louderman goes down to get it. Bump set comes out near side, way out of bounds on the attack by Merritt Ahanda, and it's a point for Lily Dries, and it's 3-1 Irish. And across and in, kill for number 2, Ellie Urich, and a side out for the Knights. And another service error. 2 straight service errors to open the match for Richwoods. Going back to serve, going to be one of the seniors, number 5, Emma Schomburg. Coming into the front row is number 1, Aiden Maloney. Also in the front row, number 14, Cora Hines. She'll play the middle spot. Free ball going to come across. Schomburg goes down to get it. Tipped across and dug up. No, it's not. A kill for Aiden Maloney, her first. And a point for Schomburg. 5-2. The score. Louderman there. So that's going to be back and out of bounds as the attack by Somerville goes wide, and it's another point for the Irish. Free ball going to come across from Somerville. Set back on the slide to Hines. Louderman can't get there, and it is a kill for Cora Hines, her first. And a side out back to, oh, that's still serving, excuse me, is Schomburg. Make it 3 straight. Schomburg's jump serve again is in, an ace right down the line. And Schomburg has served 5 straight, her first ace, and a timeout charged to the Knights. We'll take one as well. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
Welcome back here as Schomburg back to serve, 8-2. Schomburg serve, and it goes deep and out. Side out on the service error, but not before Schomburg served 5 straight. She'll take a seat. The libero, Addison Bellamy, back in. A short serve, one-hand dig, and they're not going to get it across, though. Somerville dropped one short. She'll get the service point, and it's 8-4. Sucks in the defense. The serve receive a little bit. See if this one goes a little longer. It does not. She dropped that one at the 10-foot line as well. And out of bounds. Well, that was close. Maloney gets the hitting error. Somerville gets the point. And it's 8-5. Deep serve. Hines tips it across. It's dug up, pushed across, and out of bounds on the second touch by Jay Harris. A side out. Good idea, just couldn't quite execute. Coming back to serve, going to be Maddie Gibson, number 16. She has been the setter throughout this one. Bump set. It's going to be a free ball sent across. Trees. Tipped across and back up by Hines on the overpass. There's what we talked about in the freshman game. Bellamy, last year's setter, used it to her advantage, gets the set and the set assist that time. The kill for number 4, Avery Gingland, her first. Service point goes to Maddie Gibson, her first, and it's 10-5. And Gibson is going to get an ace. Boy, giving that all kinds of chase. Got to give her some credit. Number 9, Victoria Arbuckle, just could not get there. An ace for Gibson, her first, second point. Let's serve ace in front of a diving Knights player. That time it was Arbuckle again. That one fell in front of. Timeout on the floor, charged to the Knights. Their second and final timeout of set number 1. It's 12-5. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
Welcome back here to Peoria Notre Dame High School as Cassie and I are working on a few things here. I told her I never watched, and then I started watching, and I think I jinxed her. And there is a kill, as I jinxed Gibson as well. The kill for number 7, Ella Merritt Ahanda. She gets her first kill and a much-needed side out for the Knights. 12-6. Jump serve is dug up. Bellamy from the back row is dug by Arbuckle. Pushed across, dug up by Bellamy. An overpass, dug back up. Back set across by Gibson. Now it's going to come near side on the attack. A tip, punched up. It's going to come back out and hit across by Gibson. Tipped across. The jousting match is going to be won by Hines. And a side out to the Irish, 13-6. Coming in to serve for the Irish, number 12, Sophia Wolbeck, one of the 4 seniors on the team. And a kill on the serve receive by number 12, Ruth Kavanaugh. She gets her first kill. And it's 13-7. Going back to serve is going to be number 4. That's Brooklyn Brooks. Casey Fulkerson served last time. She's the setter now for Richwoods. Brooks' serve low, off the net. Going to be tipped up and over and in. She stayed below the ribbon, which would have been the difference for a back row attack. It's a kill for number 16, Maddie Gibson, her first. Back set, tipped across by Harris. Now it's going to be knocked across by the other number 11, Jeanetton. And she is, well, they called an under the net violation. I think we'll give her a kill anyway. Jeanetton gets her first kill. And it's 15-7. Irish with the lead. Bellamy got the service point. A block and down off the hands, I do believe, of Avery Gingland. Another point for Bellamy. Louderman. An over the net jousting session is going to be won by Schomburg on the overpass. She'll get the kill. (17-7). Bellamy with her third straight service point. Louderman again with it. Tipped across, ducked back by Schomburg. An overpass. Now it's going to go middle to Schomburg. She's going to tip it across. An overpass comes back. They're out of system. Bellamy will set back. Blocked, dug up by Schomburg. Second attack. Into the nets by Jeanetton. And it's going to be a side out. 17-8's the score. Louderman to libero going back to serve for the Knights. 17-8. Irish with the lead here on senior night for the Irish. Nice serve. What a dig in the back road by Wolbeck. Now it's going to be set far side to lefty on the right. And the kill by Ruth Kavanaugh, her second kill. First point for Zoe Louderman. It's 17-9. An overpass is going to fall. It was touched by Urich, but that was just bad luck. And it's going to be a side out, 18-9. Going back to serve is going to be number 15, Riley Bear. Drops it short. Louderman comes to get it, can't do anything with it. Setter couldn't get there. Passing error results in an ace for Riley Bear. Her first point as Kate Cassidy served for her the first time. It's 19-9. Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. That's deep. Taken. Near side is going to come to Somerville. Dug by Wolbeck. Gibson Far side, blocked, and it was going to go out of bounds. And it is out of bounds finally. It was off the block. I think it was going out. Bellamy couldn't tell. She had to go after it. Her and Wolbeck both talked about that. Coming in to serve, number 6, Maddie Franklin, to play back row for the Knights. She'll be the setter now as Fulkerson left. Over the net it goes. Somerville digs it out of the net. Tipped it down. Bellamy. Gibson sends it across. Somerville's there. Pushed across again. Wolbeck's there. Gibson, middle. Schomburg, and it's going to be an in the net violation by number 7, Ella Merritt Ahanda, and it is a point on the side out. Coming back in to serve is going to be Lily Dries. She had 2 service points earlier, unofficially. Louderman picks that serve up. Pushed across. Dries is there. Bellamy to get it. Now Schomburg to the net. Pushed over. Somebody was in the net, and it was Hines. Hines was in the net. And a side out. A good student section for both sides. To our left is Peoria Notre Dame's. To the right is Peoria Richwoods. Just off camera to the right is their student section. Going back to serve will be Fulkerson for the Knights. Nope, Urich, excuse me, and she gets the ace. 20-12. Urich gets the ace, her first service point. She takes a long run before her serve. Extended number of steps. Jump serve is deep and out. Service error, side out. She's served 3 serves now. 2 of them have went out. Well, 1 went out, 1 went into the net. She did get an ace on the other, but serve percentage not probably high enough for Coach Boyle's liking. Trouble by Arbuckle again. This is going to be a free ball sent across by Somerville. Blocked at the net by Hines. Cora Hines gets the block. And a point for Schomburg and the Irish. Schomburg back to serve again with her team up by 10, 22-12. Drop down low. Nice job, Somerville reacting. It's tipped across. Outside, no, middle to Hines. Blocked down as Hines went up for a quick, and the set was a little high by Gibson. It's a side out. Nice block up there in the middle by Somerville. She'll get her first block, and she'll go back to serve. Jan Pasqualini. And there's a nice attack for Richwoods off the block, and down it goes by number 13, Addison Morrissey. She gets her first kill. Somerville gets the service point. That's her third. But Grandma Jan from Lino Lakes, Minnesota, watching the Irish. Go PND. I'll get it out in a minute. And Hines on the slide hit that one out of bounds. A hitting error. And the only player with more than 1 service point for the Knights is Somerville, and she's got 4 now. And it's 22-15. An overpass tipped by Gibson, who is at the net. So she's a setter in a 5-1, but she was in her last rotation at the net, so she could attack. And she pushed that one across. She gets her second kill of the night, and she'll go back to serve. She's got 3 service points, including an ace, and her team leads by 8, 23-15, 2 points away from a set 1 win. Arbuckle, an overpass, tipped down by Hines. Hines gets the kill. That's her third to go along with a block. 4 points now for Gibson, and it's set point for the Irish. Jump serve coming deep and just about a foot out of bounds. The set win will have to wait at least 1 point, as the Knights have 9 set points, make that 8 set points. 8 more set points. They fought off one. Coming in to serve will be Fulkerson as we get ready to go here. And a service error will end it. 25-16. The set one win for the Peoria Notre Dame Irish on senior night, started off by the ace serve from Kate Cassidy. We'll take a break. We'll be back with set number 2 in just a few minutes. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you, and we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
Welcome back to Peoria Notre Dame High School. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Cassie is alongside eating popcorn at the moment. That's the benefits of being a camera person. You can eat some popcorn when you don't have to talk. She's had an Avanti sandwich tonight, a piece of pizza, some pretzels, and yet she's probably a quarter of the size of me almost. Can't quite figure it out. It's not fair, folks. I'm telling you, just not fair. Want to say hi to Jan again. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast up in Minnesota. So look at some stats from the first set of the varsity contest. Addison Bellamy had 3 service points. Lily Dries had 2 service points. Emma Schomburg had 5 service points, including an ace. Kate Cassidy, who served first to start the match, had a point which was an ace. Riley Bear had a point which was an ace. And Maddie Gibson had 4 service points, including an ace. Gibson also had a couple kills. Cora Hines had 3 kills and a block. Schomburg had a kill. Gingland had a kill and a block. And Maloney had a kill. For Richwoods, Ellie Urich had a point which was an ace. She also had a kill. London Somerville had 4 service points, the only player with more than one, actually the only other player to have a service point for the Richwood Knights. She also had a kill and a block. Merritt Ahanda had a kill, 2 kills for Ruth Kavanaugh, 1 kill for Addison Morrissey, and here we go as that one is served out of bounds by Fulkerson, and we are underway with set number 2. We'll give the set 1 win to the Irish and give the first point to the Irish. And going back to serve is number 12, Sophia Woolbeck, one of the seniors. She had a couple big digs, did not score, but had a couple big digs. And that time, Somerville gets the kill. And a side out just that quickly. Lonnie Cassidy, Grandpa and Grandma Cassidy. Love watching Kate Cassidy from Lake Ozarks. Well, we love that you're watching, Grandma and Grandpa Cassidy. Are they going to get that across? No, they're not. As the point is going to go, and a lead from the Knights as Urich gets the point, and it's 2-1. Richwoods over Notre Dame here early in set number 2. Set number 1 went 25-16 Peoria Notre Dame. And another service error for Ulrich. The thing about Ulrich, she serves very hard, a great jump serve. The problem is it's high risk as well as high reward. So if you can't keep it in, if she can get it in, it's really hard to return. Problem is she's had 3 service errors to go along with the 2 points that she's been able to get in. But both times she's got it in, it has been a point. Hitting across, there was Morrissey on the attack. There's a block on the attack by Maloney. Now a slide by Hines. What a job by Hines in a deep right corner. She could not have walked over there and placed that any better, as she gets the kill for Cora Hines, her 4th unofficially. 3-2 the score. And Bellamy back to serve again. Drops that one short. Tipped across and out of bounds. Bellamy's got 5 service points now. 5. Make that 4-2. And a service error sends it back. And 4-3. Coming back into the front row, number 11, Jay Harris. Somerville back to serve. Somerville in her 2 services served 2 service points each time. She's the only player still with more than, well, no, Ulrich has got 2, but she's got 1 per set. Gibson's going to send it across as she's in the front row. And dug up by Gibson. Wolbeck's going to send it across. Arbuckle's there. Back set by Fulkerson off the hand of Morrissey. Or is that Kavanaugh over there? Kavanaugh. And it's out of bounds on the free ball pass. And Somerville is going to get another service point, her 5th. We're tied at 4. Bellamy goes down to get it. Outside it goes, and it's going to be a kill for Aiden Maloney. She gets her 2nd kill, and a side out for the Irish. Going back to serve will be the setter, Maddie Gibson. That means they'll have 3 hitters in the front row. Will the Irish? Gingland comes back in. She will join Maloney and Hines in the front row. Louderman with the serve receive is going to come outside, down the net, dug up. What a job. Back set. It's going to come and down for Gingland, her 2nd kill. And what a dig. I think that was Maloney going over there to get that, and that was phenomenal. It's 6-4 now as Gibson got that service point, her 5th. We pushed across. Wolbeck is there. Gibson sets middle to Hines. It's blocked. A big-time block by Harris, I do believe. We'll give 1 to Harris and 1 to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh leaves. Going back to serve is Maddie Franklin. The attack by Maloney is good again. She hits from the right on the serve receive. And she gets the kill, her 3rd kill. And she goes back to serve. 7-6. 7-5, excuse me. And an overpass works. It's 7-6. I was like calling my shot a little bit there. I apologize. Morrissey leaves. Coming back in, Brooklyn Brooks. She wears number 4. She'll play the back row. 7-6. Her team trails by 1. Serves it up. Dries is there. And that's a back row attack anyway, I think. Bellamy hit that from her libero position, but I do believe she was in front of the line. Brooks is going to get her 1st service point. And a rotation violation by the Irish makes it 8-7. And Brooks gets another service point. I want to say hi to Maddie Seymour in the live chat. Dries was being told out. She was right, though, to take it. Dropped down, dug up, blocked by Hines. Dries goes to get it. Gibson tracks it down. Bellamy from the back row. Dug by Brooks. Sets near side. Urich dug by Dries. Gibson over far side and hitting it out of bounds is Millie Jeanetton. And another point for Brooks and the Knights, as she has served 3 straight now and has given her team their largest lead of the night, 9-7. They trail 1-0. And Bellamy struggles with that one. It's an ace. First ace for Brooks. 10-7 the score now. Brooks to serve it up again. Bellamy went to get it, punched up. Free ball sent across. Louderman's there. What a pass. Going to go back set. Dug by Gibson. They're out of system. Bump set. An overpass out of bounds. So the kill is going to go to Millie Jeanetton as she tipped it across. The much needed side out for the Irish. As Brooklyn Brooks served 4 straight. Into serve. Number 6. An overpass and feeding the bear, as Ned Eckert likes to say, and Schomburg was hungry. She drives it right back on the overpass. Schomburg gets the kill, her second. The point for Kayla Kenning, and she serves it deep corner again. To the net it comes. Punched across. Kenning is there. Middle to Schomburg. Dropped it short. An overpass. Gibson is there. Dries. Back set. And they're going to call a touch. I don't think it actually got touched. As now Kenning tried to do the best she could to hit that across. She just could not get back to it. As a bit of a passing error results in a side out. It's 11-9. Louderman going back to serve now. Kenning comes out. Hines comes back in so that so that Addison Bellamy can come back into libero, and there's a service error. And back to the Irish it comes. Woolbeck will come in. Ginglin will go out. Woolbeck will come back to serve. Sophia Woolbeck, one of the 4 seniors, has yet to score tonight. The defensive specialist has a chance to tie the game here from the service line. Out of bounds, a service error. Side out back to the Knights. 12-10, Knights with a 2-point lead. They're down 1-0. Coming in will be Fulkerson, and also into the front row is Ruth Kavanaugh, the right side, or the left-handed hitting right side hitter for the Knights. Bellamy, Gibson, punched across and blocked down. That was Somerville with the block. It's 13-10. Fulkerson gets the service point, her first. Casey Fulkerson, a senior, trying to get this stretch to a 3-set match. Gibson, a quick to Schomburg. Thrown across by Kavanaugh. Gibson going to attack it. It's dug across with an overpass. Gibson now outside, tipped across, dug up, and a block by Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is going to get the block, her second. Timeout is going to be called by the Irish, trailing 14-10 here on senior night. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
And welcome back. As you might be able to hear the student, well, they just quieted down, as I said. That student section's having some fun. Go Kayla Kenning, made Grandma proud. As Jan was talking about that, as Kayla came in and served up a service point. And a jump serve for Fulkerson. Bellamy went down to get it. Gibson tracks it down. It's going to be Dries sending a free ball across. Set to Kavanaugh and lands it in on the sideline, just shy of going out of bounds. And Kavanaugh gets the kill. As Kavanaugh suddenly coming to life, she's got 3 kills and 2 blocks. Fulkerson gets her 3rd straight service point. 15-10. That was a foot fault, I do believe, but no call. Now Schomburg on the slide. Dug by Brooks. Fulkerson near side. Urich off the block. Dug up. Dries now. Gibson's going to push it across. They're out of system. Fulkerson bump set from Louderman. Urich is going to send a free ball across. Dries is there. Gibson sets middle to, that was number 11, Janetton, and then a passing error is going to result in a side out. So Janetton, who is actually the left side hitter, as they slid across, she hit a 2 from the middle, but it ultimately resulted in a side out. Did not get her the kill, though. Wolbeck going back to serve now. Gibson still in the front row, so they have 2 hitters in the front row. Free ball sent across by Somerville. Now back set on the slide to Schomburg, and she drives it home. Emma Schomburg gets her 3rd kill. Wolbeck gets her 1st service point. And the Irish trying to fight their way back in. They're down by 3, 15-12. Wolbeck serving it up again. Deep, off Brooks. Kavanaugh pushes it across. Wolbeck goes down to get it. Gibson. Schomburg blocked, dug up, and overpass. And under the net went Kavanaugh. There was about 3 players. Urich, Kavanaugh, and Somerville were all down on the floor after getting tangled up. And they called a net violation. 2nd point for Wolbeck. 15-13. Wolbeck served deep and out. 16-13 on the service error. Brooks is going to leave. Checking back in is Addison Morrissey. She'll play left. Back to serve will be Urich. Urich serving things up with her team ahead by 3, 16-13. Ace from Urich. She's got 3 service points, including 2 aces. She's also got 3 service errors. She's went service error in, service error in, service error in. We'll see if she stays on point here or drops this one in. She dropped that one in. Here comes Schomburg off the block and down. Emma Schomburg uses the block, abuses the block, and gets the side out. It's 17-14. Ellie Urich has 3 points and 2 aces. Going back to serve is going to be Addison Bellamy. 17-14. Irish lead 1-0, but trail by 3 here in set number 2. Bellamy's serve is up. Nice serve. Arbuckle has it. Fulkerson sets near side to out of bounds on the hit by Morrissey. No touch. Point for Bellamy. That is her 5th. And the Irish down by 2. Bellamy to serve it up again. Louderman went down to get it. Punched across by Kavanaugh. Outside it goes to Maloney. Dug up by Morrissey. Fulkerson a back set to Kavanaugh. She punches across. Gibson goes down to get it. Hines tipped across by Bear, and it's going to end up being a point for the Irish. Bellamy gets her 6th, and it is 17-16, a 1-point advantage now for the Knights. They've led by as many as 5 here in set number 2. Bellamy trying to tie it up for the Irish. Louderman down to get it. Fulkerson. It's going to be blocked by Hines. Fulkerson a bump set. Back row by Arbuckle. And that's in. Oh. Boy, that looked like it got the line, but they said it's out. We're tied at 17. I don't have very good eyes, so I probably should just keep my mouth shut. But it sure looked in from here. Bellamy serving it up again. Louderman. Fulkerson comes back set to Kavanaugh. She pushes it across. Nice dig by Bellamy. Now to Maloney. Off the block and down. Aiden Maloney gets her 4th kill. And a timeout, I would expect, coming from the Knights, although they don't. Coach comes out, talks to her team, does not take a timeout. Bellamy has her 8th service point. 4 in a row here and giving her team a 1-point lead, 18-17. Bellamy jumps up, serves it across. Louderman's there, much better pass. Fulkerson, middle to Somerville, and off the block of Hines and down. Somerville gets her 3rd kill. She'll go back to serve now with the score tied at 18. She's got 5 service points on the night to lead her squad. Outside Maloney tips it down the line. It's dug up. They're out of system. Back row Arbuckle. And she's going to get the kill on a back row attack. Victoria Arbuckle from the back row gives her team the lead again, 19-18. Wolbeck outside now. It is Maloney, and Maloney gets the kill to tie it at 19. Maloney's got 5 kills to lead all hitters. 19-19. Coming back into the front row is Gingland. Leaving was Bear. Back to serve is Gibson. 3 hitters in the front row now for the Irish. Low serve, ace for Gibson. And it's 20-19, Irish with the lead. Gibson has 6 service points, including 2 aces. Back to serve again. 2-person serve receive here for the Knights. Back to Kavanaugh from the right. It's blocked. She digs it back up. Bump set. It's going to be a free ball essentially pushed across. Wolbeck gets to it. Gibson out to Maloney. Down it goes off of Louderman. Maloney, another kill. She has got 6 and a timeout charge to the Knights. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. The Irish have battled back from 5 down to take a 2-point lead, 21-19. They have a 1-set-to-none advantage here in the varsity match. It's the JV won 25-21, 25-17. The freshman won 25-5, 25-19. The Irish looking for a sweep tonight here on senior night during homecoming week. Started this match off with Kate Cassidy, who tore an ACL in her first game of her senior year against Metamora, point number 24, I believe Coach said earlier. She came in and served on senior night and got an ace to start things off. Now they're trying to finish it off in 2 sets here, leading by 2. The Knights have played much better here in set 2, but have not been able to secure a win. They had a lead, couldn't hold on to it. Gibson is back to serve again. She served 7 points tonight, including 2 aces. She serves it up. It's deep. Louderman backpedals to get it. Fulkerson back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh dug by Bellamy. Gibson now back sets to Gingland. Dug to the wall. Nobody could get there. Gingland gets the kill. It's 22-19. Gibson with point number 8. She'll go back to serve again. Back into a 3-person serve receive now. Louderman goes down. Not a good pass. Oh, they're going to get it across. What a job by Morrissey. Middle to Hines. She tips it. It's dug into the net, and it'll fall. Hines is going to get her 3rd kill, and it is 23-19 after another service point from Gibson. She's got 9, the final timeout of the match called by the Knights. We'll take a quick one as well, and we'll be back in about 15 seconds here to Peoria Notre Dame High School. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you. And we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
And welcome back, 23-19. A 4-point service run for Maddie Gibson. the junior setter for the Irish, and she has got her team 2 points away from a 2-set win over Richwoods. But the Richwood Knights have called 2 timeouts here in this stretch. They have played much better. See if they can get a side out and make something happen here. Louderman, Fulkerson, back to Kavanaugh, tips it across. It got the net, it hung up. Wolbeck to Maloney. Louderman's there. Fulkerson near side to Morrissey. Dug by Wolbeck. Gibson, quick middle to Hines, tipped down and in. What a job by number 14, Cora Hines, her 5th kill and 10th service point. And now with a chance to close the game, she started it with an ace. Can she get the final point? Kate Cassidy checks in. Set and match point for the senior with the torn ACL. Out to Morrissey. It's dug up, and Cassidy can't. She just stood there, unfortunately. She wanted to go get it. You could tell she wanted to so bad. Couldn't get there. It's a side out, and it's 24-20. Going back to serve. 4 match points now for the Irish. It is Franklin in serving. She'll set. Maloney off the block of number 11, Jay Harris. She gets her 2nd block, and they fought off now 2 match points. They have 3 more facing them. Franklin gets her first service point. She's going to need 3 more. Drops that one in. Wolbeck's there. Gibson out to Gingland. She hits it into the nets. 2 match points left to fight off. (24-22). Franklin back to serve again. Drops it short. Wolbeck went to get it. Gibson gets it up. A free ball is going to go across. Arbuckle's there. Franklin back set. Down it goes. A kill for Ella Merritt Ahanda, her 2nd, and a timeout. As Franklin has served 3 straight. The Knights have fought off 4 straight match points. They have 1 more match point to fight off, and then it'll be tied at 24, and we'll go extras. Franklin. Maddie Franklin had not served a service point until this service the entire match. She comes back and has dropped in 3 great serves on the Irish defense. 1 point. Both teams have used all of their timeouts. Nobody has any left. Franklin back to serve again. It's the 5th match point for the Irish. Bellamy, Gibson, back to Maloney. Oh, and I get it across, but out of bounds. What a dig by Louderman, but it's going to result in a 25-23 win for the Irish. Louderman, and then I believe it might have been Harris, got a hand on it, but it went out of bounds as it went over the net, and that's how this one ends, 25-23 in set number 2. And how storybook would that have been if Kate Cassidy could have gotten a final point? She served with her team up 24-20. Couldn't 24-19, excuse me, couldn't get the service point. Then it was 24-20, ended up being 24-23 before an hit by Maloney was dug up and then overpassed out of bounds. And that's how it ends. 25-16, 25-23. The Irish get the varsity win. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes with the coaches, hopefully, here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
And welcome back. We have Richwoods coach Boyle and Ruth Kavanaugh. Ruth playing right, hitting left.
Yeah.
I love a left-handed hitting right side hitter. It feels like I'm not left-handed and I didn't play volleyball much, but it feels like it's an advantage.
It's
and
fun,
you used it to your advantage. You had 3 kills according to my stats and 2 blocks tonight. So what is it about? They seem to set you quite a bit. Is it because you're left-handed and they feel like it works better, or you just – what's the deal? I mean, you get set a lot over there.
I mean, yeah, being left-handed helps, but honestly just having a good connection with Casey. I mean, we've been working on it over the past 4 years and just kind of getting to play with her and knowing that I trust her and she trusts me. So whenever I get set, I know that she expects me to put the ball down, and so that's my goal.
You hit the ball hard a few times, but you also tipped it across, you pushed it across. That's really a key to anywhere on the front row, but it seems like on the right side, being able to adjust to that is a key to being successful. Obviously, it worked for you tonight.
Yeah, it's hard because almost all outsides are typically tall, so you kind of have to know where that block is and just be able to have that high volleyball IQ to swing around it, place around it, and just put the ball in different spots where everybody isn't.
Those tips are really hard on those short, little fast girls in the back row, aren't they?
Yeah.
You have to like that a little bit,
yeah,
don't
but
you?
I mean, Addison did a great job of getting him up tonight. Typically, I can burn a libero a few times on him, but she had me all night, so props to her.
Yeah, there was some good defensive play, I thought, on both sides. There was some ups from back row players that, as a front row player, you had to be, I never thought I was going to get a chance to hit that, and here it comes, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to be ready for anything.
All right, Ruth, I won't keep you long. Thank you very much for coming and talking to us. Sorry about the tough loss. Ended up being tough down the stretch, but you put up a good effort, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ruth Kavanaugh talking to us for a few minutes. Go ahead and give her the headset. Head coach Brittany. Is it Brittany or Brittany?
No, it's just Brittany.
Just Brittany?
Just spelled extra
You just got
unique.
extra N's in there.
Yep,
okay.
sure do.
Coach Boyle, how about that?
Yeah.
Coach Boyle, I'll tell you what, your kids don't quit. You were down. You had 5 match points, and you got 4 of them. You were just 1 short. Franklin hadn't even served a service point until she got to that
Correct.
point. So your kids don't quit, do they?
They don't. Unfortunately, we just had a slow start to the first set, and I think once we really got comfortable with playing, we carried that momentum into the second set and was really leading most of the beginning of the game, and it just, gets into those 20s, and it's, that's where the pressure really, really comes on, and the girls did put up a good fight. Unfortunately, it just was maybe not as soon as we would have anticipated it to be.
Service errors are key, especially down the stretch, but it seemed like there was some errors early that when you guys had chances to kind of build on it, some service errors maybe cost you a little bit. I say that, but it looked like Urich, for example. I point out she was a service error, an ace, a service error, a point, a service error, an ace. She pushes the boundary, right?
Absolutely.
So when you're pushing, you're serving tough serves, you're going to have more service errors,
yeah,
right?
you're going to have a little bit of errors, and we work on serving aggressively smart, right? We don't want to just lollipop the ball over there, so there is going to be room for a little bit of error, but make sure if you do have an error prior to that you're going back there, you're focused up, and you're going to get that ball in bounds.
You had, I felt like, good front row play from, Ruth, but Arbuckle came in and played pretty well for you, I thought. Louderman played pretty well for you at the libero. I mean, in fact, the point that ended up being match point, the fact that she even got a hand on that for somebody else to put a hand on to get over the net, there was a lot of that kind of play from you guys tonight, I felt like.
Yeah, I think we were pretty scrappy, and that was the key. Notre Dame was very scrappy as well. They have really great defensive coverage, and we were just trying to implement that on our side. With them having smart tips, we know that we have to be on our toes, ready to just take that ball.
Now, I know that Kate isn't a member of your team, but you've seen her play, obviously, through the years. You know she's a great player, and I'm sure Ruth and some of the other girls know her as well. You see somebody walk out on the floor, she can't really play, but she's coming out to serve. Is that a mindset? I mean, obviously it affects Notre Dame a little bit, you would think, but does it maybe a little bit your girls too?
No, Emotionally,
Yeah.
if that's what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I talked to Coach prior to the game, and we knew she was going to serve. And I think it kind of pulls on all of our heartstrings, especially when you have a player that, is good at the game, loves the game, that they're not able to, really play. But we were, I think, happy to be able to, give that to her. We were very excited, and
You
she
didn't
got
want
two
to give her
serves on
that.
us.
You didn't
No,
want to
we-
give her that ace, though, did
We
you?
didn't want to, but she definitely earned it. She
Yeah.
earned it. So, yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you coming up and talking to us. Tough loss, but I'm sure you guys are going to be okay down the stretch. Somerville, some of your front row players are really
Yep,
good.
yep.
And Somerville serves well, too.
She does, yeah. She is a key player. She's a very smart player. So she was serving short, and as soon as they adjusted, she beamed them a couple deep. So that's
Yeah.
the exact volleyball IQ that we need here. So.
I actually mentioned that those first two serves that she scored on were 10-foot line serves. I mean, they weren't real hard, but they dropped it like
Yeah.
10-foot line. And those are really hard for any defense to get,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
And then you get them, and then I noted they stepped up about 2 steps, and then boom.
Yep, absolutely.
It just when you can have that ability to change that up, not a lot of players can do that,
Yeah.
at least that effectively. So, well, Coach, once again, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That's Coach Boyle talking to us for a few minutes here with Ruth Kavanaugh. Now we've got Coach Mingus, and it looks like Maddie Gibson coming up here. Is that who? Maddie, go ahead and put that on if you can. All right, Maddie, put that close to your mouth so we can hear you really good.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I kind of like a setter that knows when they're in the front row and isn't afraid to hit the ball a little bit. You used your front row play to your advantage a few times, didn't you, tonight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that, as the setter, is it kind of fun to get to do that once in a while?
It's really fun. Yeah. I get to. Yeah. I feed the hitters to do it a lot, so it's fun to be able to go in.
The cool thing about playing a 5-1 is things I don't get to watch a whole lot because a lot of people play 6-2. Most people play 6-2 anymore.
Yeah.
And, the middle comes over, the left comes and hits, I don't know, like a 2 or whatever the middle is. And you don't see that. You don't get to watch that very often. Is that fun for you to be able to get to set that kind of stuff?
Yeah. It's really fun to set that stuff because, I mean, it's the best kills to watch and be able to be a part of.
So I saw the fresh soft team, the JV team, was doing some fakes and stuff. I didn't really see you guys doing it, but do you guys practice that? I mean, are you guys advanced enough since you're doing the slides and stuff that you're doing some fakes and stuff like that?
Yeah. The hitters will go in and just fake them out and hold the blockers usually.
Yeah, and that's what key is, right? If you can do a good fake, you don't get a double block on the outside. The middle has to stay, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So service line had you for 10 service points and 2 aces. That's not a bad night for
Yeah.
So you had your hand in all those kills, which I didn't add them up, but there's like 20 probably, give or take a few. And then you had 10 service points. That's a pretty good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
a few long runs.
Yeah. So when you got the team back into it and you started that run that sent you guys kind of eventually over the top, how do you keep that excitement that comes with that and keep the ball inbounds and not just sailing one to the bleachers in the back or the wall?
I just think it's really important to be lifting up your after every point, everybody comes in the middle, and because whenever it comes in the middle, it just gives all the hitters the excitement to want to get the next kill. So if one person does it, the next person wants to do it too.
Well, Maddie, I want to give you congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
And what was it like for you guys having Kate out on the floor there serving up? And I saw Coach put her in. I was like, well, that's going to be a storybook if she gets the first point and the last point.
Yeah.
But it had to be an emotional thing knowing she really couldn't do anything, right? She was just there to serve.
No, it definitely was an emotional thing. It was fun to watch, and I'm really glad she got to do it. Yeah.
All right, Maddie. Well, give Coach Mingus the headset, and we'll get her on here for a few minutes. Thank you, Maddie. Good game. Coach, I didn't think about it until I saw you put Kate back in. I was like, holy smokes, that would be like everybody thought, oh, it was just amazing. She's going to get to serve. But if she could serve the first point and the last point, that would have been crazy, wouldn't it?
Yes. I was really, really hoping she was going to get that point because she has been one of the best teammates that these girls could ask for. She was our leader this summer. So to lose her the first game, I think it really put our team through a lot of adversity. And she knew that. But to see her response to that, she comes to every single practice. Her role has just changed. used to be power hitter,
Yeah.
and now she's really kind of working with the hitters on the side at practice. She's like their biggest cheerleader, comes to every single sporting event that we have, whether it's practice, weightlifting, and she truly is still the leader of this team.
Well, that's how you become a D1 athlete, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
I told her I
absolutely.
couldn't like her anymore though because she's going to SIUE, and I went to Western. So I said I can't like you anymore once you go there.
Once
But
you
it's okay for now.
It's okay for now. Yeah.
Maloney was big for you guys. Now I had her for 6 kills.
She was, and and tonight, on Tuesday, she started playing outside for us. So she's played middle every year. She's a junior, and on Tuesday we transitioned her to the outside because she just has such a high reach on her hits, and I really thought she could take advantage of some of these deep corners. So she really did step up to that challenge and did really well tonight.
Well, she also came and had a kill from the right side on serve receive.
Yes.
And having someone that can adjust to that and be that kind of a hitter from the right side on serve receive, I mean, that's important for most lefts most of the time, obviously.
Right.
But she was able to get one. And when you can do that, that makes your serve receive a whole lot better, doesn't it?
It does. And I think we are just super fortunate because we have Emma, who's played middle for us for 3 years. She's played outside for us this year. And then we have Aiden, who has played middle and is now recently switched to outside. So when you have those 2 girls in the front row, they could literally hit every single ball that's sent their way, which makes it very, very hard on blockers. So,
You had a couple seniors in the back row, Addison Bellamy and Sophia Wolbeck, who at times maybe mishit a ball or two.
mm-hmm.
But they showed their senior leadership and their seniorism, for lack of a better term, and were able to respond in a good way from that when a lot of teams or a lot of players wouldn't have been able to do that.
yes. I feel like our team, we work a lot on mentality. And I feel like that is just as important as the physical stuff of a sport. And so those seniors have been through a lot of mental training, and they play for the right reasons, and they know what their why is, right? And so when they go on the court, it's just 100% locked in and focused, and all while still enjoying the game. So I'm going to be super sad to see them go after this season.
Schomburg, you mentioned Emma. She played really well for you, I felt like, tonight. I had her for 4 kills. Hines I had for 5 kills and a block. Mm-hmm. She's a force at the middle, isn't she?
She is, and she's a sophomore. So she is, fresh and improving every single practice. She wants it, and you can tell, especially at practice. I call her the sponge because I can tell her one time to do something, and I never have to tell her again. She's right there doing it every single chance she gets. So, she's tall. That doesn't hurt.
Right.
And aggressive, and so we're super excited to have her. And just to have her there with Emma, too. Emma is such a leader when it comes to helping somebody out in a position. Emma does a fantastic job making sure that her teammates know what their job is and what they need to do, and Emma knows what their job is, and so she leads in that way. Cora leans on her quite a bit during a game to say, hey, what should I run, or what, am I in the right spot? And Emma is just first there to take care of answering those questions.
So it's probably nice for that. I think it was one rotation where Emma was playing left and Cora was still in the front row, right,
Mm-hmm.
and playing middle. Mm-hmm. So that's probably good for Cora, right, because she's got a middle playing to her left that can say, hey, if something happens, we need to do this or whatever. So that's probably a bit of a benefit even for that, isn't it?
It really is. I feel like our front row is so adverse into the fact that they could just pretty much hit any ball, and we can change our offense up quite a bit. And I think, for the month of October, that's our goal, is to make our offense quicker, because we have such talent in the front row, and we need to utilize it to its most potential.
So one thing before I let you go,
Sure.
There's 2 things you can do. Simply put, there's 2 things you can do when you lose one of your best players or your best player. You can quit,
Mm-hmm.
or everybody can step up, take different challenges, and become better because of it. I feel like, just having seen you guys play this one match this year so far, that you've done the latter. The kids have stepped up, the girls have stepped up, learned different things, and have become better because of it. Which there's no time you ever want to become better because of that kind of thing.
Sure.
But to see them all do that has to, as a coach, make you feel good.
It does. And I will say, like, this season, you know, has been tough. You know, it's been a lot of struggle and trying to figure things out. But the girls, they don't give up. And we just come to practice and we work on something different or new, or we're changing things, even to this week, just trying to see, you know, what our best options are. And the girls are always up for that challenge because it's about the team, and I think that they know that. And they do a really good job supporting each other.
I was talking to Tony earlier, and the nice thing about it is volleyball doesn't matter really what your record is, does it?
No.
You can spend all season getting better,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And still changing things. And I think that's what the good coaches do. You know, a few years ago, I remember Terry Paul. I cover a lot of sports from Terry, or a lot of games when Terry Paul coached at Colchester and then at West Prairie. And she'd spend the whole year just changing and changing. And people think, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing, or we lose a game we shouldn't lose, or we go to a tournament and don't play as well as we thought we should have, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes postseason, because you've done all those things, you know what your team can do, right?
Yes, and that's pretty much the way I explain it to our team is, you know, our season's a journey to prepare us for postseason. Right. Because postseason's where your season can end. Right. And so trying to put us in the best position possible to play postseason. And I have no doubt that the adversity that our team has gone through this season has prepared us already for postseason. We are very used to playing a lot of close games. And I love that when I look at my court, even in the close games that we lose, my girls are still trying to win. And I don't think that you can make people do that. I think that has to be a choice. And I'm just lucky to have girls that choose to battle.
Well, you got some young kids playing, obviously, with Cora being a sophomore, and then Maddie's going to be back next year. The seniors, though small in number, really, I mean, 4 is a relatively small number of seniors. You know, Addison went from setter to libero. Sophia back row only. So they've changed what they've done for the betterment of the team. And I think as a coach, you probably can't ask for any more from senior leadership and showing the younger kids what they have to do than to do those exact things.
Yes, and I will say that, like, you know, Addison Bellamy, you know, she has set every year she's been at Notre Dame, and then to come in and ask her to be the libero, because that's the shoes that we needed to fill. She did not complain once. She did not, you know, bat an eye. She just said, "Okay, coach, I got it."
And full disclosure, when I talked to her during the freshman game, she may have said she likes libero better. Anyway. Yeah. so it probably wasn't a hard sell, but the fact that she did it is pretty nice.
And, you know, and it wasn't easy. I mean, she came in, I think at the beginning of our practice, I met her a couple times before school to get those serve-receive reps in, because she knew she needed to get them in. And it's just always nice to work with an athlete that knows where she wants to be and then kind of backtracks and goes, well, how do I get there? And she's not scared to put the extra work in.
Well, that's the thing I think people might forget in her scenario. When you played setter for so long, right, you don't serve receive a ton.
No.
Maybe occasionally.
You don't at all. You shouldn't.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's why I said maybe occasionally, but you don't really serve receive. So maybe you do in practice for practice.
Yeah.
But outside of that, during a game, you're not serve receiving at all. So suddenly you're going from never seeing a serve and never watching a knuckleball come at you to suddenly having to dig every 2 out of every 3 of those or whatever.
Yeah, and she does. I mean, she's always been a leader, just vocally. Even on the court, like if you see her, she's talking to the hitters, letting them know where their spots are. She's talking matchups because our back row has the best view. So if there's a matchup at the net that we can take advantage of, they're going to be the first ones to know it. And they are constantly talking to the setters. So I do feel like there's a lot of communication in volleyball that maybe
the
regular people, they don't see. And I think that our setter able to execute those things and keep all of that in mind, as well as her plays on a good pass, her plays on a bad pass, her free ball play, who she has where, who's in the back row, and then utilize those matchups. It's a lot for a setter to do. And Addison as a libero helps Maddie as well. And I can't ask for better leadership as far as embracing that change and then also taking the time during the season to help Maddie.
Well, I talked to I think it was Addison. Maybe it was Sophia, but you're at the back line and you're getting ready to take a ball and everybody yells out at the last second.
Yes.
And you have to actually maybe it was I don't know, maybe it was Sophia. Maybe it was. I don't know. I can't remember who it was.
It was Sophia Skine.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, how hard is it to lay off that ball, right? But really, if you think about it, setter does the same thing every time. When somebody says 1-1, 2-2, 5-5, 6, whatever, they have to mentally hear it and do it while they're getting ready to set the ball.
Right. And then especially like when she's in the front row,
Yeah.
you add to that because I'm constantly telling her, like, if you don't hear the blocker breathing on you, then you have that option too, and you have to put that in your offense, because if you do, then it makes that blocker go up with you, and it gives us an additional seam to work with.
Get you a single block somewhere else,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you down the road, maybe at a sectional or something.
Yeah, I hope so, and
All
thank
right.
you so much for coming out
Hey.
tonight. We cannot thank you guys enough. You did an awesome job.
Not a problem. We're happy to be here.
Thank you.
Coach Mingus talking to us. So that'll do it. Some real quick stats, unofficial, of course. I had Aiden Maloney for six kills, 8 service points for Addison Bellamy, 2 service points for Dries, 3 kills for Gingland, and a block. 5 service points, including an ace for Schomburg to go along with 4 kills. 1 service point for Kenning, a point which was an ace for Kate Cassidy to open the match. 2 service points for Sophia Woolbeck. 1 service point, which was an ace for Riley Bear. 10 service points, including 2 aces and 2 kills for Maddie Gibson. And for Richwoods, unofficial again, of course, 3 service points, including 2 aces for Urich, and she also had a kill. 3 service points for Fulkerson. 4 service points, including an ace for Brooks. All 4 of those came in set number 2 in a row, actually. Maddie Franklin had 3 service points. All 3 of those came with her team facing match points. She came up 1 service point short of extending the match. London Somerville had 5 service points, 2 blocks, and 3 kills. Victoria Arbuckle had a kill. She played very well in the back row, though. Jay Harris had a couple blocks. Ruth Kavanaugh, 3 kills and 2 blocks. Addison Morrissey, 1 kill, and that does it for the stats. Zoe Louderman actually had a service point as well, and as you could tell, not a lot of service points from a lot of different people, which meant serve-receive was pretty good for the Irish for the most part. So for Cassie, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for watching. We were happy to be here. Hopefully you folks at home enjoyed it as well. We'll talk to you again down the road. See ya.